Heyo, Dark Sage Walker here. Let's play some more Binding of Isaac. I did just recently start uploading Monster Hunter. I believe that's up to 1. Don't worry, more will be coming. There's no way that I'm going to just let that fall by the wayside. I love Monster Hunter too much for that. Alright, so last time I was playing this game, I actually unlocked the Polaroid, so now there's some more fun to be had. Let's see, who do I want to play? Well, I've basically done nothing as Lazarus. It's looking like either him or Kane. Or Bone Man. Done a lot with Lilith already. Yeah, let's go Lazarus. The key to Lazarus, of course, being picking and choosing when you decide to commit suicide in order to improve your stats. And of course, the very first room has stone fatties, because why the hell not? Who says you could have fun in this game? Heh, fun. By the way, fuck my reflection. Which is not, as it sounds, a self-loathing dig. I actually don't mind the way that I look, thank you very much. I have a very positive body image. Or perhaps it'd be better to say I have a very positive self-image. My body image, of course, is, well, a little on the round side. But I'm not willing to count that as a negative if you aren't. Come on. Oh, I hate these spiders. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, hey, I started with a pill. It is not a pill that I appreciate, though. If I had known that that was the case, I would have just used the Ace of Clubs on it. Oh, yeah, this room is fun. Alright, so moving forward without a decent item to use makes this real interesting. At least give me a bomb so I can hit that tinted rock. Christ. I'm sure by now you can hear my two birds in the background. They are a bit more comfortable in their surroundings. They're getting used to life in a new home. I'm actually planning on moving one of them a little bit closer so I can interact with him a bit more. You know, be a good parent instead of just the one that says, okay, go sit in the corner and leave me alone. I don't want to be that parent. There we go. Alright, now let's go back and see if that rock has what I want in it. Because if it does, then I know exactly where I'm going to commit suicide. I don't have an active item, so that doesn't help me. So, last time I was talking about fighting games, I'm aware that I kind of just rambled incoherently and didn't really illustrate my points very well. That seems like what you do all the time. Shut up. So, allow me to... There we go. Alright, so I'll be back for that. So allow me to be a bit more succinct with what I was trying to say. Fighting games to me are like a very interesting and complicated game of chess. There's more strategy to it than I think people give it credit for. Alright, now let's defeat this guy, and then I can... Come on. There we go, now we're set.
Ace of Clubs.
So it basically boils down like this. Every playable character has a certain set of moves and abilities that they have access to. different ways of fighting, different attack power, different defensive abilities. This, there we go, now we're seeing pretty. This basically all culminates itself into a scenario where it's not just about who kicks harder, who kicks faster, what happens here, what happens there, yeah, whatever. No. Why am I on a permanent Curse of the Unknown? Am I just not allowed to know how much health I have? This a game of guess the fucking limit. This is gonna get annoying fast. I'm not allowed to know how much health I have. Permanent Curse of the Unknown, fucker. Fuck you. Oh, thanks. Okay. Well, that could have gone better. Only in the idea of wasting bombs, though. The fight itself was fine, I just wish I hadn't wasted that bomb.
Health. Down.
Well!
Justice.
I'll be back for that. But it's because of that sort of... Well, I'm in a really bad spot now. I get the feeling that this is going to be a short run if things don't pick up soon. But it's because of that leaning towards a more strategic mindset that I find a deal of interest in catharsis in fighting games, and incidentally, that's one of the things I really like about Monster Hunter. I enjoy the fight, the thrill of the hunt, as it would be. It's one of the things that I like the most about that series, and well, if it weren't for that, I probably wouldn't even make the fighting game comparison. But also, I find fighting games to be a bit more complex than people tend to give them credit for. A button masher, a fighting game is not. And yes, you can do well button mashing, but only if you know absolutely nothing else. And at that point, I wouldn't necessarily recommend the idea. Oh, hello, Holy Light. That's looking pretty good. Come on. Alright, let's not do anything too rash or dumb. I need to play carefully if I intend to survive. I saw that tinted rock there. I'm hoping that has what I'm thinking it'll have. No, but that's not a bad substitute. Okay, well, now I'm seeing potential.
Two of diamonds.
Alright, now we're looking good. Okay, that's a lot of gold chests. What's going on here? Oh. 2-for-1 spent. What is with all the golden chests? What the hell? I don't have that many damn keys. Matter of fact, I have no keys. Are you serious right now? I'm kind of starting to think that this run is a pain in the ass. The only way that this is worth it is if I end up getting... Well, I mean, I'll take either item, but I would rather have lump of coal. Well, okay. It's something. Alright, well now I can go back and open another gold chest. Maybe that'll have something good in it. A bit more survivability, that's always good. Is there a key in the shop? No, there isn't, but there is a card. Oh man. Alright, hold on to that for later. Sorry, I got sidetracked, as what usually tends to happen when I play this game. So what gives fighting games a sort of strategic feel... Hold on while I take a sip of my... oh, so smooth Sierra Mist. Is that not everything necessarily happens at the same time. What determines whether an action hits or not is a little something known as your frame data. You know what? This room is making me mad. Not everything necessarily happens at the same time, and it's how quickly or slowly these actions happen that determine what things are safe to do, what things aren't safe to do, how much damage things can do. There's a lot that goes into the design of a fighting game, which incidentally makes them a lot harder to balance than people give them credit for. Because it's not like every fighter is doing things the exact same way. Every fighter not only has to feel unique and have a slightly different playstyle, but also has to be at least moderately fair in order to be used. That kind of brings me back to the whole point of Monster Hunter. Everything feels like a fighting game in that game because I'm seeing a lot of the same strategy. It's you versus the monster. The monster has different things it can do depending on how quick or how slow it is, what it's good at, what it's potentially not so good at. But every weapon that the hunter can pick up is like a character of its own, so that right there is approximately 14 different characters. That's not approximate, I lied. Sword and shield, longsword, greatsword, switch axe, charge blade, insect glaive, bow, light bowgun, heavy bowgun. What is that, 9? Oh, I'm missing lance, gun lance. Yes, gun lance is as ridiculous as it seems. Like I said, that's part of what I like about Monster Hunter, though, is the ridiculousness factor. And if you want to talk about, you know, what the best way is to get rid of a giant monster in your house, well, let's just say a sword isn't necessarily what one would think of first. I know I'm missing a few, but I'll get back to it all when next I get around to playing Monster Hunter. It won't be long. I tend to play that game frequently. But anyways, every weapon is like its own fighting game character. And then on top of that, in Generations Ultimate at least, that not only are there 14 different weapons, but there are 6 different fighting styles that you can use. Thus increasing that number by 4 times, so 14 times 4, my goodness, that's a lot of combinations. Just count them. Or, you know, multiply them if you're smarter than I am. Which, to be fair, 14 times 6 isn't the most difficult math in the world, but goddammit, I'm tired. That's a lot of different ways to approach what you're doing, and some of them are inherently more multiplayer focused than others, since there's the obvious multiplayer lean of the game. But it doesn't mean that you can't use these things solo. It just means that there's the idea that what you're doing might not always be the most viable choice. Did I already hit the item room? No, somehow it's managed to elude me. And what did I do with that car? There it is. Now, you could, and rightfully say, well, just because something has a strategy element doesn't mean that it's like a fighting game. But also keep in mind that Monster Hunter is developed by Capcom, the makers, I need not remind anyone, of Street Fighter. So it would be rather disingenuous of me to make the fighting game connection without bringing that up. It's just what I think of when I think Monster Hunter. I think part 3D action RPG, part fighting game. And just like a fighting game, it has a very heavy leaning towards skill-based gameplay. Something that you need to put a lot of practice into. Something that you really need to focus on. Get good. As much as I hate that phrase because it's so embroiled in this whole elitist gamer mindset, which I am currently not working with at all because apparently I can't seem to equate the difference between damage and just being a fucking idiot. I would definitely take that. Am I on an extra large floor and I just didn't notice it? Huh! I'm on an extra large floor and didn't notice. I'm an idiot. Alright, well, I don't have enough keys to get into the shop now, so let's just move forward. Ah! There we go. Okay, well, let me come back to this. Okay, too much crap. Oh, hello, Maw of the Void. And Incubus. God, they're both so good. I'll take Incubus, though. And I'm gonna want a bit more health. Alright, looking good. So yes, it's perhaps a bit disingenuous to say, oh, it's exactly like Street Fighter, you should give it a try. But it is just what it reminds me of. And hopefully at least that point has been understood. There we go, come on, come on. But the reason why I brought up fighting games the last time I played this was more so because of Dead or Alive 6 and the terrible way that Koei Tecmo is performing its business when it comes to that game. Now, this is something I didn't know when I was talking about the game. That is that outside of the absurd amount of... Oh, that's awful. Outside of the absurd amount of... Oh, baby. Okay, well... That's going to make things a lot easier. Oh, come on. How dare you trick me, making me think that you actually, died. As I was saying, it came to light after I talked about Dead or Alive 6 that a lot of the same shitty practices that they used in that game were also used in Dead or Alive 5, including the sectioning off of characters to sell back to people as DLC, which I find to be especially scummy in a fighting game, seeing as playable characters are the lifeblood of a fighting game. Quick check for a secret room. Nope. Okay. God damn it. Well, I figured that was going to happen as soon as I saw those damn masks. That up. That up. Now, I'm not going to pick up the glowing hourglass, but I do believe the last time I talked about that item I reported it wrong. This is also something that I learned since the last episode. With the glowing hourglass, of course, now the school bag shows up. Okay, whatever. Do I want it or do I not want it? I want it. But since the last time I played, I found out that, you know, unlike what I reported, which is that the glowing hourglass will turn into the regular hourglass after you use it a few times, since Booster Pack 5, that's actually no longer the case. It's now just the glowing hourglass forever. So, actually, I want that. That makes that item way more abusable. Which means I'll probably start picking it up and using it a bit myself, since I can use it to essentially cheat time. It's a concept I love. It's like, oh, I didn't get the item I wanted. Well, I guess I'll just kill the boss again. I'm not sure that would actually have an effect, but... oh my.
Bad gas.
Here we go. And I'm going to make a shot at boss rush because I've got the power to beat it. I just want to give it a try. And yes, I'm aware I'm low on health, so this could potentially be a very bad idea. Oh, especially since I can't technically actually start boss rush, because all the items are on spikes. Which means that stepping on any of these will kill me, unless that skull gives me a black heart. Well, Well, it was worth a try. Next time, Gadget, next time. So, it occurs to me that picking up Polyphemus might have been a really bad idea. And indeed it was. Well, you know what? Let's not end it like that. Let's just restart. That one was my fault for taking Polyphemus without considering the ramifications. So we're gonna start again, and we're gonna hopefully do a little bit better this time and not make a boneheaded play like that. Like I said, I'm tired. Leave me alone. Yes, that is gonna be my excuse for everything. I'm just goddamn tired. Alright, so, back on the point of dead or alive. So what we have here is a company that's leveraging everything they possibly can to get more money out of its players. They're leveraging DLC characters. They're leveraging costumes to the point where Dead or Alive 5 has, and you can go on the Steam listings and look this up, nearly $1,300 worth of DLC. That is not an exaggeration. I wish it were. But no. almost $1,300. I believe the exact number is $1,287, and, well, at that point, who cares about cents? If you're spending that much on Dead or Alive 5, you probably didn't have any to begin with. Arf, arf. But seriously, that's completely overdoing it. And it looks like Dead or Alive 6 is going the same route, considering that it's got a season pass that they feel is somehow worth $90-something. Now look, I'm not saying that companies shouldn't try to make their investment back, but that's goddamn ridiculous. That is asking for way too much up front from people who just want to play a fighting game. Like, I even think that Capcom using Street Fighter V as a sort of live service fighting game is going a bit far. But what Koei Tecmo is doing with Dead or Alive 6 is just plain scummy. Alright, so now we'll just go ahead and stand in the fire for a while. Yeah, it's reasonable. Just go stand in the fire for a while. It's a strategy. It works. Seriously, $92, $93 season pass? Like, I can't even fathom what they think is going to be a part of that season pass that's worth that much damn money. If you ask me, it just sounds like highway robbery. In this case, there might not even be a highway. It's just robbery, that is. Just robbery. Ha, not this time. Not trapping me and doing a full heart of damage to me this time, champion enemy. But even more so than just Koei Tecmo thinking they can get away with charging $90-something for a season pass, or putting enough DLC in one game to charge an extra $1,300, is who are the idiots that are out there actually defending that? And yes, I know that there are a few. They're few and far between at this point, but there are people who defend that. Why? It's not like Koei Tecmo is going to come over and give you a free birthday present or something. You ain't getting a cookie from this shit. No, like I said, highway robbery! With no highway, just plain robbery! And trust me, this is a big corporation. They don't need you white knighting for them. There's enough corporate shills in the world as is. You don't need to be one of them. Another tinted rock. How interesting. But I say the same thing about Ubisoft, about Electronic Arts. No one needs to be white knighting for these horrible game publishers. Certainly not Activision. And what's sad is that there are some people that will. It just makes no sense. As much as I love Nintendo, I don't necessarily white knight for them. Their decisions that are bad, I'm sorry, are just fucking bad. I'm not gonna step down and just be like, oh no, it's okay, you guys do whatever you want. And at the end of the day, you gotta make money, right? That's the sort of place that gets us to where you can't make YouTube videos of or live stream their content. You know, mentioning no content creators programs, I mean names. Alright, when an idea is bad, it doesn't matter where the idea comes from, it's just a bad idea. And there will be no white knighting terrible ideas. Doesn't matter who they come from. There we go. Bombs. And walls. Alright. This is turning out to be a pretty good run so far. Let's not waste it. That's one thing I'm apparently very good at, is wasting runs. I love this champion version of Monstro because he has no super jump. A lot of health, yes, but when he can't just become randomly invulnerable, it doesn't take much to bring him down. Not a fan of Guppy's hairball, but I'll take it so that I can lock in Devil Deals. And who knows, maybe that would be a step towards the Guppy transformation. Would be nice. Alright, before I start focusing on the mushrooms, let me get rid of the pooters. There, now I can focus on the mushrooms. Yes, I was actually trying to use Guppy's hairball. Yes, that is a terrible idea. And if you have it, you might as well use it at least a little bit. Whew! That was close. In just about any instance that I can think of, there is no reason to be defending the policies of a big company. Not unless those policies are pro-consumer. Because ultimately, it's the consumers that are the ones that are actually making this business viable for you. Screw you. All that time spent dodging and avoiding their tax, in the long run, I get hit upside the head anyway. That's fine, I can take a hint. I can tell when I'm not wanted. I'll definitely take Red Candle if I can get the money for it. Well, that helps. And there's the item room. Everything's coming up neat. Ooh, now I'm not sure I want the Red Candle. Now, in the course of normal gameplay, I'll get much more use out of the Red Candle, so yes, I do want it. Sprinkler is better in greed mode. Not to say it doesn't have its uses, especially not right now, where it's... Oh, actually... But no, I can only use the Red Candle... I can only use the Sprinkler once every 4 rooms. Red Candle, I can use every room probably multiple times. So in the long run, yes, I think I would rather have that, but make no mistake, I do like my Sprinkler. Now I've got plenty of money for it. Oh god, I hate I'm excited so much. Alright, settle down. There's no reason to get worked up. You got plenty of health, you've got decent offensive ability. There's no need to get pissed off, or just flip out! There we go. Got a spare bomb. Let's see if this is the secret room like I think it is. Oh! Oh, shut my mouth. I could have sworn I was onto something there. Without the ability to fly, that's pointless. Alright, anything good here? No. Yes. That might actually be better than Red Candle. So yes, I will stick with it, especially since I have to sacrifice health to get it. And, okay, let's... No, I don't want that. $4 gold chests is worth it. Even if I end up leaving here with no keys, it's likely still worthwhile. Plus, it's a chance to get this I'm excited pill done and over with. Alright, well, it was worth it. At least it was worth having a look. Wouldn't necessarily say I got anything out of it, but it was worth having a look. Alright, to the end. Oh, this little shit. In my life, I hate. Once again, yes, I am trying to use Guppy's hairball. Why? I don't know, maybe I'm just a sucker for punishment. Alright, so far so good. Don't get too crazy. No need to reinvent the wheel, just simple dodge and fire. Dodge and fire. Dodge and fire, duck and weave, float like a butterfly, sting like a caterpillar. Hey, you wanna walk into a fire? Sir, just walk into the fire for me, just this once. Just make my life easier. Okay, well, you know what? That works. I've got all these things indirectly boosting my damage. I'd like to just have a damage boost. Okay. Oh, wait, that's not a cursed room. Alright, I don't have any keys, so we'll come back to that if I can. You know, and on the point that I was just on, it's people going out of their way to white knight for the companies that just want to steal all your money from you, that make it possible for them to do things like, I don't know, charge $92 for a season pass, or lay off a huge chunk of their workforce just so that their executives can make more money. That's the sort of thing that makes that possible. So, you wanna start defending people like that? I say fuck them. There is absolutely no reason to be going out of your way to defend these people. That's a lot of spiders. Why would you give me so many spiders? I do not want them. I do not want these spiders, Sam I am. Okay, Whipworm is gonna severely boost my shot speed, but definitely make it easier for me to capitalize on Lump of Coal. Keys. Okay, I actually didn't want to pick that up right then and there, but oh well, it works. Matter of fact, I'd go so far to my ways to say that that these big corporations and their overpaid heads, I hope that people forget about their bullshit so they can keep pulling it. There's really no reason to do that. I'm not a fan of Explosivo, but oh well. Yeah, not a fan of the sticky bomb shot. It actually just kind of slows things down. Okay, didn't see the creep there. That's my bad. Come on. Well, now I've got plenty of money. Now let's just see if they make me fight Greed again in the next shop. See, that guy would have been dead if it wasn't for goddamn Explosivo. I'm like the one Isaac player I can think of that doesn't like that item. Every other Isaac player is like, oh, Explosivo is so good! Like, well, no, I actually disagree. I would rather just my tears do damage when they hit something rather than stick to things and then go off later.
Ace of clubs.
I would rather not go too far forward without another key. So let me do one or two more rooms, see if I can find a key. Maybe go so far as to use a bomb to open a regular chest. Which ultimately seems like a bad idea now that I think about it. Alright, there. I have a key. Now, if nothing else, I can hit the shop and buy a key back if I need to. Alright. I'll do this room. Ooh, room bag. That'll help a lot. Where? There it is. Oh, here we go. Let's do their fucking jumping routine. Screw you guys. Alright. So Explosivo kinda helped this time. But I'm hoping people are starting to wake up and understand that in the times that we're living in, we need to start being more pro-consumer. There's a reason why everything is so expensive, and it seems like things are just getting more and more difficult for the common everyday person. Things are. I told myself I wouldn't get political on this channel, but fuck it, I've got points to make right now. Things are too difficult right now for those that aren't in the 1%. And I think it needs to change. Simple as that. Ugh, all those keys. I can't fly. Oh, maybe some of those will get duplicated on this side. There we go. See? That made it worth it. And let's bomb one or two of these, see if I can get a soul heart out of them. Oh well, at least I tried. Maybe if I gain access to something that lets me fly for a minute. Oh, that was dumb. Really dumb. Oh, there we go. We've kind of just made it too easy for ourselves to get taken advantage of. And I think, especially when it comes to, wow, that's another reason to dislike Explosivo. In case there weren't enough reasons already. And like I thought, I seem to notice, and perhaps there is a pattern to this, I just don't know offhand. Whenever I have a bunch of money, that's when greed shows up most often. As said, maybe there's a pattern to that. Maybe it's supposed to happen that way. And maybe I'm just really goddamn unlucky. I would honestly believe either one. I don't like you, Explosivo. I think you are trash! And again, that's not exactly great either. Whatever. I don't have a means by which to change it to something else, so I guess I'm taking it. You know, that reminds me, there's a rune that kind of does what I was thinking of there, but I don't have it unlocked. Maybe I should do the challenge run that unlocks that rune. I hate these enemies so much. Oh my god, screw you. No, I don't want to do that. I want to get something from the boss. And potentially a devil deal. That'd be nice. Well, I'll definitely get a devil deal item. As defeating the Fallen is, ouch, always worth a devil deal item. Yeah, like the pentagram, I could always use more damage. It also means that my flies will do more damage. Kind of a win-win if you ask me. Wow, that just wasn't worth it. Really not worth it. Oh, and that's just gonna make things even more difficult. God damn it. Why did I go into that room? And I can answer my own question. I was hoping it was going to be a library. This is Yara. Alright, well, hopefully I find something that gives me a soul heart so I can get more than one soul heart. Never mind. Admittedly, I'm a trifle miffed as to how things got the way they are. When game publishers think that they can pass off a $92 season pass. Whoa, no, I don't want Cursed Eye. Or when they can do things like release MVP products, which, unlike what you might be thinking, is not what I mean. In this case, when I say MVP, what they mean is minimum viable product. You want to know what's wrong with Anthem? There you go. Minimum viable product. Because they're not planning on doing anything with that game at all, aside from having released it in a terrible, bare-bones state, and then add things to it and hope that everyone just kind of forgets about it a little while down the road. Which, that's what Activision and Bungie did with Destiny, that's what EA is doing with Anthem right now, and so on and so forth. Can we please just admit to ourselves now, just every single one of us, can we admit that this whole games as a service bullshit has failed? And yes, I know I said that there were good examples of games as a service, and I brought up Splatoon in that light, but you know what? I think enough is a fucking enough. Games as a service initiative is failed. It's fucking dead. No one likes what these games come out as. I don't like complaining about them. It's just one... Thank you. It's just one more thing for us to all lose our collective minds about. I think it's high time that the whole games as a service thing went away. I think it's time that EA started making full games. I think it's time that Ubisoft started making full games. It doesn't seem like it's that much of a stretch. That's what they used to do. They used to make full and complete products before the... Oh, that's one of mine. Okay. Before they got the bright idea to, just release something and we'll maybe put something in the game that'll be worth some money later on down the road. Like, no, you fucking assholes. That's not how this works. You're supposed to give us something that we want, that we'd be willing to pay money for now.
48-hour energy.
It's not supposed to go the other way around. You're not supposed to grace us with the ability to purchase your game in the hopes that you'll put something in it that's worthwhile later on down the road. No, you're supposed to release something that's
of diamonds.
You're supposed to give us something that's worth our time in the beginning, and then we decide whether or not we want to pay for your bullshit later on. Last I checked, that's how this whole video game thing worked. That's how business works.
Question mark.
But no, the meaning of everything gets twisted around in order to pervert the original meaning of things. So now we even have a secondary meaning of MVP that literally means piece of fucking shit. This is ridiculous, and it's going to ridiculous lengths. But if anything, it's a good reason to spend some time looking at indie games, because there are some truly fantastic and magnificent examples of what games can be if we actually embrace the idea that they can be artistic and meaningful. Matter of fact, one of the things that came out last year that I think is well worth everyone's time is a little piece of gaming gold. I'm not sure how many people have heard of it. It's called Celeste. Was actually nominated for Best Game of the Year, but basically lost out to corporate shill. I mean, God of War. Not that I put a lot of faith in the Game Awards in the first place. To be fair, what the Game Awards basically are is essentially corporate shill the event. Basically, all of the big publishers and developers get together, kiss each other's asses, and every now and again they throw an indie game a bone because they feel they fucking have to. Not because they actually did a good job, which is the case with so many of them, but because they feel if they don't, then people will get mad. So it's basically just to meet corporate standards. Any tent of passion or expression has been long since gutted from video games. And that is why I support the indie scene, because that is where the people actually developing good things are. Again, not all of them. I'm sure for every example of a good indie developer, we can find an example of a bad one. You know, for every Matt Makes Games, there's a Digital Homicide out there. By the way, for those of you who don't know about the Digital Homicide story, go check it out. It's fucking crazy. This is like the one time that Explosivo actually did anything good. And I don't want either one of those items. I'm starting to wonder if maybe Devil Rooms was the wrong choice this time around. No reason to go back. That must be the effect of my buddy in a box. That's ridiculous. Alright, well. Wasn't expecting to have something like that. Excellent. So I'm sure at this point there's plenty of thoughts about going, wow, you have a lot of negative things to say about the video game industry. Do you ever talk about anything positive? Well, yes. But I think it's worth pointing out that if we completely ignore all the negative things, then there's nothing to put the positive things into any sharper relief. Of course I get tired of constantly complaining about the state of the game industry. But if we never mention it or bring it up in any way, it's never going to get any better. So, with that in mind, I'd say it'd be very dishonest of me not to talk about it. If for no other reason, then it just needs to be discussed. Video games and the industry surrounding them used to be far different from what they are today. And it's worth continuing to point that out, because there was a time in which there was genuine passion within the gaming industry. And once again, I'd like to point out the idea that I'm not saying that there isn't. What I am saying, however, is that the amount of passion that's in the gaming industry is certainly lesser than what it used to be. Bye-bye, Sloth. I want to hold on to this. Oh, no thank you, I don't want to go there. It's been a long time since a game released like Earthbound that actually captured our imagination, and made us think about what sort of message a video game can actually bring to the table. It's been a long time since we've seen a game like Final Fantasy VI that could legitimately be considered art. I don't want to hear about, oh, but the games look so much better nowadays. Because, frankly, I think it's the continual push for better and better graphics that's part of the reason that games are so iffy nowadays. It's not better and better graphics we need, it's better and better ideas. Though to be fair, it's not like this is the first time the industry has ever been here before. I even remember back in the day when everything used to have to be an MMO. That's right. I'm sure no one thought that would come up again. But yes, they tried to make an MMORPG out of everything, and well, the sheerest, most honest thing to say about that is that no one has an infinite amount of time to devote to a million MMO games. And with how similar MMO games typically tend to be, people are really only going to stick with the best ones, and for pretty much now until the end of time, a lot of people are considering that to be the World of Warcraft domain. And how many people actually know about or care about the idea that things like Defiance and Firefly have MMOs? Just because something exists doesn't necessarily mean it's good. But nowadays, with the kind of default game being big, expansive open worlds, and the other half of the default game setting being battle royale games, we're kind of starting to see that happen all over again. Although not necessarily with those types of games, but more so with this whole idea of live services. I've made this comparison before, but well, not comparison, but I've made this point before, but with the idea that the industry is kind of going in this strange circle where it never actually learns anything, it seems as though we're just in this perpetual cycle where the big developers never actually learn anything. I mean, the people that made these games that can be considered art, that are, you know, beautiful and evocative pieces of software. These people didn't make those games by chasing trends. These people did so by leading, by taking the bull by the horns and going places with their ideas. Or, to put it in a slightly more pretentious way, they dared to dream. And yes, I'm aware it's a little pretentious to say it like that, I just don't really care. Was hoping for keys, but oh well.
Judgment.
Drop keys. Oh, there's one, that works. Ah, you son of a bitch. I hate being telefragged. Goddamn Star Tropics ghosts. I want you... well, dead is the wrong term. No longer mobile. There. There. Did I say it right? Do I get a point? I probably could have stood to give that guy some money, but oh well. Alright, I've got 3 defensive orbitals. I can pretty much just stand here and hold fire and get the job done. Damn it. Interestingly, Explosivo is actually kind of working out right now. Normally it just slows down the proceedings by way too much. Because most of the shots that land end up being just, you know, dud shots that sit on the enemy and do nothing, and then the enemy teleports away, and I'm left going, oh fuck, what's the point of that? Don't want that, don't want that. I will take Halo though. Don't care about Taurus. I'll take that just because it's free, basically. Toxic Shock is good, Seraphim is good. And now I need keys again. So, the chest level. This is the level that you go to if you beat Isaac in the Cathedral while carrying the Polaroid. Ooh, chocolate milk. So now, chocolate milk is basically making it so I can charge all my shots before I fire them. But I can also fire them uncharged, so it's not hurting anything for me to take it. God damn, that was a big bomb! Okay, admittedly, that was kind of fun. I don't want this to do anything. There we go. This is starting to look more like it. Shame I couldn't get the Guppy trim. Oh, wow. I forget this guy's name, strangely enough. Oh, the adversary. This is probably one of the more difficult bosses to get away from without taking damage. As you see, I couldn't exactly do it here. He's got some crazy-ass attack patterns, including the homing brimstone beam. Fuck that noise. Beautiful. And that's Degas. I just realized I picked up an extra key a while. Oh yeah, but I opened that chest a while ago too. Alright, never mind. Apparently I'm just not very bright today. But what else is new? still rapid fire with chocolate milk. You just have to fire rapidly instead of holding the button. So basically, it gives you two modes of fire. I love chocolate milk. Both the item and the object. Chocolate milk is just... There we go. Okay, it's kind of fun actually, seeing that things swell up so big and then bleh. Ba-boom! I probably should have saved that. Especially since that isn't gonna help. There's nothing to destroy. Oh no! What have I done? Oh, are you... Okay, you gotta go. Mom's Pearl. Fine. Dark Bomb? What was that all about? What makes you think I want that? You know, in your world, the deadly poison-spitting tarantula might be a good thing, but where I'm coming from, I don't want to handle that. There's enough things in this world out there that want to kill me without you giving me poisonous spiders. There we go. This time we'll win the run. Probably should have won it last time, but I didn't think about the ramifications of taking something that slows down my tier rate with something that kind of needs a faster tier rate to work, so oops. And there you go, that's the chest ending. And store credits. Oh hey, Golden God. Okay, didn't even know I had earned that. But alright, well, that was a longer video than I had anticipated, but thank you very much for watching. If you dig what I'm doing, hit like, subscribe, maybe even a little bell icon. I'll be making more videos. Of that you can be rest assured. Anyway, this is Dark Sage, and I'll be seeing you.